Hello and welcome to Pages and Journeys. I'm Olivia and this is going to be a very cowboy heavy vlog. Guys, I am so excited. We are heading down to North Carolina to Trope Bookshop with one of my best friends, Keely, who I have not seen in like a year and a half. We're going to go see Jessica Peterson and Maggie Gates at Trope Bookshop this week, and I am so excited. These two are some of my all-time favorite authors. They're doing like a rodeo night, so it should be very, very fun. But that isn't until Friday, so I thought maybe we could do a little bit of a vlog catching up on some reading. You know, we've been trying to keep consistent recently, and why not come along for the ride? This morning we knocked out some errands. We headed to Trader Joe's and then to Barnes & Noble, and yes, there is a book haul. And then we had to go to the hospital to pick up a prescription, but first up, the Barnes & Noble haul was amazing. I found Between Now and Forever by Adriana Locke in the used section, so this was $6. I think it's in Neighbours to Lovers. It's a signed copy too. I didn't realize it was signed. But yeah, I've heard a lot about Adriana Locke, and I thought this was very much so up my street. It just says, well, hello there, neighbour. When Gabrielle Solomon falls, she falls hard, but even if it means literally toppling over a porch railing in nothing but a flimsy towel right in front of her new sexy neighbour. Jay Stetson is 100% hero material with those arms, that chest, and his delicious, oh-so-sexy smirk. The chiseled hunk in flannel has an irresistible off-limits attitude while blocking Gabrielle out of the bushes and saving her from a snake. Unfortunately, he's not indulging in whatever Gabrielle's offering, not with his emotional train wreck of a past. Just neighbours, just friends, or so he says. Secretly, he's smitten with the single-fierce mama bear of two who plays fix-it at a house next door. He doesn't even really mind the noise or the chaos her young sons cause. What he does mind is how lonely heart races when he's looking into her emerald-coloured eyes. Can Jay let his painful memories go, or will he let the woman of his dreams slip between his fingers? Sounds exactly like my kind of book. Then I have heard nothing but amazing things of this, so I picked up Half City by Kate Golden with the very, very fun edges, and this is Harker Academy for Deviant Defense. She's a 21-year-old in an expensive city, and then she ends up being a demon hunter as well. It quite frankly sounds fascinating, so I had to have this one, and I just loved the art for it too, so this will be one we pick up very soon. Then I also picked up No Place Like Home by Gillian Meadows. I recently got Give Me Butterflies by her, which is book 1 in the duet, so I snagged this one because it was buy one get one half off. And it's supposed to be friends to rivals to lovers, small town fake dating with animals. It seems like the perfect spring vibe, and it's a perfectly like floppy paperback. I will say the one thing that I have started to lean into more recently is traditionally published books. I have for the last 2-3 years strictly only read indie because I felt like the traditional publishing censoring that comes in, especially after reading some of my all-time favorite indie authors go traditionally published, and there is a very, very clear difference in their writing. But it takes away so much of like the emotional impact. It takes away what I used to love about their books. So I have this big sense of distrust when it comes to traditional publishing houses and like when they pick up indie books, how they censor things, especially because I have indie and then traditional copies of books. So one thing I'm trying to do is enjoy traditionally published books more, but that was one thing. And this one is by Avon, and I found Avon and Atria and the Dial Press seem to be the best at not censoring their books. And the writing stays pretty much the same between both. So I'm very excited about this one. Now, the book that had me absolutely screaming that was out so early is Unbound by Peyton Corinne. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite books this year. You guys saw me read it in the very first reading vlog I posted, but this book is utter perfection. There's just like not enough words in the English language with deep enough meaning to convey how special Bennett and Paloma are. I absolutely adore them. I loved their relationship, how it was very raw and real and not perfect, and how he adores her. There's poetry in this one. They, at their freshman year, meet each other. Bennett has OCD and a couple of other mental illnesses, and he is trying to navigate the world, and he's very picky about his hockey equipment. Paloma starts working at the equipment center, and she realizes this and like does everything she can to like do her job but also help Bennett. And they end up in the same English poetry class, and they share poems together, and then, you know, it ends up also being a second chance. There's a dual timeline in here. It was stunningly written. Like, Peyton Corinne writes hockey romances, yes, but she writes some of the most emotionally devastating, heart-wrenching stories that are just so done. Like, you feel like you're in this book with these characters, and I will say her ability to create such emotional depth is unmatched. This is a very prized possession. I cannot wait to annotate it. I bedazzled the first two books in the series. I'm going to annotate Unbound and then Undone, which is coming out later this year. And they almost feel like duets within the same series. Like Unsteady and Unloved, those are very special books and I love them, but Unbound just takes it to a whole new level, and I think Undone will too. So I love that these match, and this is such the vibe of their story. And then the last book, Mel, is actually from Fred and June's, which is also down in North Carolina. And that's because Jessica Peterson does indie and special editions of all of her books in the Lucky River Ranch series, because it was indie and then traditionally published. So I got Duke by her, and it's signed. And then I also picked up the special edition of Duke. So I absolutely love these. They are gorgeous. This is one of the best books in the series. It's an accidental pregnancy road trip romance. Best friend's brother-in-law, he's, you know, very much so pined for her. He's not sure if he wants to be a cowboy anymore or like just get out of town, and she lets him do that. It's incredible. I loved them. But as for this vlog and what we're going to be reading, we have a very special art copy of Ryder by Jessica Peterson. Yes, it's the last book in the series. It is a brother's best friend romance, and it's very much a forbidden relationship. Like, his best friend does not want him near his sister. She's kind of the wild card. She's been stuck under the books, and now she wants to be a barrel racer, and she's trying to get out there. She has a full lens on her back and ends up seeing Ryder standing right over her, and it's their like whole forbidden thing. This is out April 7th, so you absolutely need it immediately. I am giddy to pick this one up. Now, Maggie Gates is a very special human, and I absolutely adore her. I started her books earlier this year, and I am reading it in her recommended reading order for like all of the Easter eggs. Have to say, 10 out of 10 way to do this. So right now I'm on book 2 of the Beaufort Poker Club, and I will say Maggie is one of the most unique plotters. Like, her books are things that you have never read before, with just unique twists and things on all of her books. So The Stars Above Us earlier this year, which I think I filmed, and it was the most unique military romance I've read. And then her Griffith Brothers series is The Cowboys That Just Got Picked Up by Berkeley. When I tell you these are the best cowboy romances you will ever read. So book 1, Duststorm, is a single dad, and he has 2 older daughters, and she is Cassandra, our female main character, ends up coming into the Griffith Brother Ranch to help with the PR side of it and expand their different assets. However, she is currently engaged to someone, and this assignment is basically like a you messed up, I'm putting you here so you can't cause any more trouble situation. And she hates kids. She doesn't like kids. She doesn't like horses or anything like that, really. She's from the big city. She's only a city girl. And she's pretty much like, just get me the heck out of here. The blackest of black cats you will meet. So they end up falling for each other because of like this will they, won't they. Like, it's just brilliant. I loved it. Book 2 is a age gap grumpy sunshine romance. Brooke is our hot mess express. Like, this girlie has pretty much chaos written into her bones, and Ray is disabled and he can't really do much on his own. He's currently paralyzed, and so he needs a homemade nurse, and he doesn't want anyone. He basically fires them all on the spot. But Brooke is different, and he doesn't. Very much like Beauty and the Beast, but make it a cowboy romance vibes. Who Did This to You? Just, oh, I love them so much. So much sunshine in that one. And then the last one, Fireline, is what I'll be picking up after I finish. I can't remember the name of the book that we're picking up for Maggie, which I should, but it'll be on the screen. You can see it. Whatever I finish this one. The next one we're picking up is book 3 in the Griffith Brothers series, the last one, Fireline. Now this one we are also getting a copy of at the event, so we will end up walking away with a final copy of Ryder, so excited, and a final copy of Fireline by Maggie Gates. So I'm very excited about that. Fireline is supposed to be an enemies to lovers one bed situation that, again, it's going to be brilliant. Maggie's books I have a tendency to binge in a day. Like, out of all of the 5 I've read, I've never not binged one. So we'll see what happens with this one this afternoon. Other than that, we are home alone this week. So it's going to be fun balancing all of that while also taking care of Blue and just getting everything done. We also have stuff for the shop to do this week as well for Dreamy Pages. I need to pack. We fly late Friday and I'll be back on Monday. So, you know, it's never a dull day. But for now, let's go get some lunch. And I think we're going to start with Ryder. Okay, you guys, my parents have been dropped at the airport with my younger brother, and we are home alone with Blue. Come here. Who is very much in need of all the attention and the pets. He's very jealous. Hello, can you lie down? We've eaten some dinner, and he will not leave me alone. Also, yes, I don't know if you guys know, Blue is blind. He doesn't have eyes anymore, so that's why he can't see. But updates. I have not started Wildcard on my Kindle yet, but I did get 100 pages into Ryder by Jessica Peterson at work today, which is so good. This is phenomenal. I am absolutely loving it. It is just the quintessential brother's best friend. His best friend wants his little sister so far away from him, but the way that Ryder sees and understands Billy is one of my favorite things. Like, just brilliant. So, okay, Blue. You want the center of attention. Brilliant, loving it. I am probably going to read another 100 pages before bed tonight. It's currently like 8 o'clock, so we have a little bit of time. I'm currently watching a Disney vlog by Adam Hatton, who's one of my favorite Disney vloggers. He is on the Disney Destiny with his best friend Gary C. Blue, stop stealing the spotlight, buddy. There we go. But I also brought a hobby basket downstairs. My current crochet project, which is a small of the baseball crochet jerseys. My mini paint by numbers, which is this gorgeous like sunflower, like wildflower sunset vibe. So I'm currently working on finishing that up with my audiobook. And then lastly, as an F1 girly, I have 3 of the speed chasers to build. I have the Williams, the Mercedes, and the F1 film one. So we do need to knock these out at some point too, and not much pressure, I just want to try and do some of them. So for the rest of the night, I am probably going to watch the rest of this vlog, then head upstairs. Okay, well, while we're outside, we're on a brief break from work to come and let Blue out because he goes out a few times a day and one of them happens to be right in the middle of my work shift. So we're going to take him for a quick walk around the garden. But reading update wise, I read another 150 pages of Ryder this morning because the 200 page mark is where things finally heat up. And let's just say 200 pages of tension and yearning and pining was so worth the wait. So I absolutely loved that. Then we did some crochet orders and some needlepoint canvas orders for Dreamy Pages Co, which was really good. Edited a video, and that's about it. Ate some food. So it's not been too crazy of a morning. I am absolutely exhausted running on 3 hours of sleep. So we'll see how tonight goes. It's probably gonna be an early-ish night, but that's about it. Good morning, everybody. It is now Thursday. We had 2 days of kind of like iffy mental health days. So we have finished Ryder, which is a huge win. Now we are listening to Reign of a King by Rena Kent because I needed an audiobook that was not a cowboy romance. Then on my Kindle, we will be picking up either Wild Card by Maggie Gates or Through the Dust by Amber Palmer, which is book 2 in the Black Strings Ranch series. But we'll talk more about that later because right now we are out and about. We are heading to Michael's to pick up a couple of supplies because I'm decided I'm going to make a new shirt for our outfit this weekend. I want something that's like wild and free vibe, cowboy-ish that I want to make. So we're going to pick up the vinyl that I ordered here ahead of time because I only had like 1 or 2 left in stock. And then I also want to go and pick out a shirt to wear because I think they carry the brand that I love here. So I'm going to go and see if I can get that. The outfit vibes are white cowboy boots, a brown satin skirt that's like a warm tone brown, and a white shirt, like an ivory creamy kind of shirt to go with it. I think I have enough bandanas spare to use one of those. I have like a brown one that I actually got from Jessica, so we're probably going to use that. Belts that might fit the vibe, so that's the idea for that. I will fix my nails. I lost 2 from nannying this week because that was really rough. The kids have had a very hard week, so we're hoping today's better. And then we're nipping down to Ulta because I do need to pick up some travel supplies. So that's the plan for this little outing. We'll head home, eat some food, head to nannying, and then go from there. Okay, we're home. Update that no one was expecting. I'm locked out of my house. So turns out I only have 1 key that works. The other key we don't know what it goes to. And yeah, so I'm locked out of my house right now. Blue is inside. And I feel awful because Blue is in there on his own. Again, like he's been on his own for like an hour total now. And the lockless people should be here in the next 10-15 minutes, hopefully. But yeah, I'm furious that I'm locked out. Like the one time I leave the house this week, it is not working. So yeah, that's my afternoon. So from Ulta, we got the glycolic acid body wash to take with us. We have the Magic Molecule spray, a new mascara, and then Kristen S's shampoo and conditioner that I've been using. So mini ones of those. These are all good to go in my backpack to pack because we need to pack tomorrow. From Michael's, we got the iron-on heat transfer vinyl in brown to go with this little shirt here, and we are going to make a cowgirl t-shirt like I said. I did get another bonfire paint by numbers. I'm going to give this to Maddie, who is at work and one of my very good friends. And then I also snagged this cowboy paint by numbers because I love the paint by numbers, and that one is a really good one. So these are there. Other than that, we are pretty much just sat here waiting. Of course I don't have my Kindle on me either, so I can't like sit here and read. The fingers crossed these guys show up soon. I'm more worried about Blue, so we'll see how that goes. He's getting extra treats when I get in that house. Oh my god, guys. It has been a day. It's currently like 8:10. We are up for the night working. It's my last night here and also my last night home alone. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. Honestly, right now I'm just thankful to be back in the house. So I think the last update I gave you was in the car right after I found out I was locked out. So my house, my family's house, is really, really old. And each of our doors has like 2 or 3 bolts on it. Came that way, has always been that way. I have a set of keys that I got when I was in high school. Turns out that only opens 1 door. I thought because there were 2 keys on there was like both the doors were covered, the main ones that we use. No, not the case. So I spent 10 minutes, 15 minutes trying to like shoulder in the door, see what I could do, see if any of the windows were able to be propped open so I could get in, because this little monkey was waiting for me and it was like prime his bathroom break time, prime snack time for him. Like it was just horrible. Also just like feeling guilty because I'm the only one here. And even more frustratingly, I could see the set of keys that has like everything on it and I just didn't think to take them because they're not my keys. And bear in mind, my set of keys has worked all week. So I ended up calling my parents who are like in no service and I'm like, is there any other way to get in this house? And they were like, no, your keys don't even work on the other side, on the other door, even though it fits the lock, it's not the one that works. I'm like, great, so what's this key go to? He's like, no idea. So then I call for a locksmith. Locksmith shows up half an hour later. It takes him an hour to get into this house because what had happened was on the inside of the lock, the twist knob had broken because the thing was so old
and the last time I turned it to like lock it before I left, it snapped on the inside. Get back in, I had like half an hour before work, quickly grabbed some food, sorted Blue out, set him up again even though I felt terrible leaving, headed to work for like an hour and a half, the kids napped until 4 today because both of them are coming down with something. So then came back and let Blue out again, went back to work for an hour, like an hour and a half, and came home. And then that was it. I just like needed to feed him and I wanted to decompress a little bit from the day. So I did pick my numbers, listen to a bit more of my audiobook. A rough day, but that kind of just started like how the beginning of this week has been. It's been a lot. And my to-do list, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. My desk chair just broke. I'm gonna crash out. I am going to crash out so hard. The only good thing is I've got this brilliant iced coffee. I love this chair. I hate this. Oh, now you sit up? Okay. Let's see if we can fix the desk chair. Up there, we're back. I think I fixed it. I've basically had to use my jewelry pliers to twist it in for now because I can't find an Allen wrench anywhere and there's no way in hell I'm going back downstairs tonight. So, this has been a rough week. Anyways, we're about to write tonight's to-do list, which is going to be ridiculously long. Between today and tomorrow before I get to the airport is basically the plan to try and do tonight. I'll listen to my audiobook Reign of a King while I'm doing that. I have to start Wildcard on my flight tomorrow. That's the plan. And then I don't know if I'll get to Fireline. We'll see. I may Kindle read Wildcard tonight depending on how late it is. One thing at a time. We got this. It's now like 8:45 at night. So it took like half an hour, 45 minutes to fix the chair. So this coffee is going to be needed to keep us running later. And I will fix my nails before I go, I promise.
Good morning, you guys. It is travel day. It is 7 in the morning. I went to bed at 3 a.m. So we were very sleepy. I got the vlogs edited, all of the content I need to film today planned, downloaded all the book covers for editing later, put the thumbnail description together, the trailer video, filmed the reels that I need for the rest of this week. And then I need to design the shirt and pack. That's about it. So fingers crossed we get it all done. So I have from 7:15 till about 2:20 to go and get everything done. And honestly, I think I'm gonna take a nap when we get them home. I have to probably be at the airport for like 5 tonight. Maybe a little earlier depending on how bad TSA is gonna be. But it's go day. Guys, we're winning. I've rented the exact same car as what I drive at home. This is so much easier. Oh my god. Okay, so we are off to get lunch, and it is in the like fancy, cute little plaza place, and it's my favorite taco place. Okay, we're sat at lunch, and look, my name is on the thing. We don't know why, but it's there. And I'm still housing taco number 8.
on the way to the event. We're going to the bar. It's a country bar and I am giddy. We ate so many tacos. Okay guys, we are on the way home. That was an incredible event. We'll talk more about it when I'm home from this trip. But we also got dinner with Jessica. I've known Jessica since 2023 when we met at Wilmington Retreat, and it was just, her hugs are magical. I'm so glad I got to squeeze her again. And then we went out to dinner. We just ran in the rain back to the car. So we're both soaking wet. We're gonna get on the road. We've got like a 2-hour drive. So we'll be home by like 11ish. But oh my God, so much fun. Best thing ever. I look disgusting, but that was so much fun. Okay, you guys, we are freshly showered post spin, and I thought maybe we should catch up on everything that's happening. So we've got Nalani, let's yap. It's like 11:45 on Easter Sunday. Yesterday was the event, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of a haul and then fill you in on everything. So we went to Bar Taco yesterday for lunch, which was absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite taco places. We went in DC last summer and then they had one in Charlotte, so we had to stop there. Went to the event where there was Jessica Peterson, Maggie Gates and Z, and it was so much fun. I'd read Maggie and Jessica before, and I've seen Jessica before, so like her reaction to seeing me again was just the sweetest thing. I love her to pieces. And then we headed out to dinner with her too. We went to Mi Carino, which was delicious. So yes, we had 2 Mexican meals in one day, and we got like apps to share, and then we each got a dish. I split dinner with Jess, and like we had a, you know, sharing moment. And then we got back here at like 10:30 last night. There were many marks had. The event was great. It was at the Rose, which is like a honky tonk bar in town. It had a disco ball. We danced around. Trope Bookshop hosted an incredible event, and I cannot wait to go to more of their things. And then this morning, we went to Ryder United, which is where my friend Keely goes to her spin classes. I have not been to a spin class since 2025 in April, when I used to go to Cycle Bar in Philly right before I moved, and I haven't found anywhere that I loved in Rochester yet. So that is definitely up next, because the way I feel like I could conquer the world right now, if you are in the Greensboro area and you go to Ryder United, go try Lizzie's classes, because that was the most motivational thing I've ever done. She made it easy for you to follow along. She made it fun. You could like keep up. If you needed to make adjustments, you could make adjustments. I felt so comfortable. She was just truly one of the kindest. She did a whole thing about like, it doesn't matter what's going on outside the room. If you can't find joy there right now, try and find it in this space, but joy will come back to you. And I really, really hit hard with that. Loved that. We're gonna have a bit of a reading afternoon now before we head back to my friend's house, because we are dog sitting right now. And then we are gonna just have a chill evening. We might redo her bookshelves. I need to edit the romance report that needs to go up today. And then tomorrow morning we're flying solo. I don't know what we're gonna do. We have to be back in Raleigh around 2. And I have from 8 until then to do whatever I want. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive from here. Thought I'd give you a quick little book haul. Now all the books came signed and I got them all personalized. So this is by Z. Kaylee Gallen. She talked a lot about this FMC yesterday, Reese being very, very polarizing. And then there's Corey as well. But I believe she used to be a book influencer before becoming a romance author. So this should be really interesting. She grew up on a small town ranch, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that influences her book. Then obviously I lost my mind meeting Maggie Gates. It came with a copy of Fireline. I'm a little bit sad that the cover's not perfect, but I'll live. And this is Personalized, which is my next read. I'm currently reading Wildcard. We'll update you on that in a second. I also picked up Duststorm because I have Downpour at home, and this is book 1 in the series, signed and personalized. And I think I went up to Maggie's table like 4 times, so whoops. And lastly, Ryder by Jessica Peterson, which we read earlier this week, so you have all of my full thoughts, but I'm so happy to have Billy and Ryder home with me now. So they are gonna come be put on my shelves immediately. She's perfect. So this was well worth the trip. I just had the best time. Wildcard just took a massive turn. I read this on the plane down here. It's book 2 in the Beaufort Poker series, and you have to read them in order. So I'm going to try and keep it short so you don't get too many spoilers. But we are following Steve and Erica. Erica comes into town and gets in a hit and run accident in which her fiance dies. And Steve is the detective looking into who did it and helping her recover. She's getting settled into town and they end up being neighbors. So it's this whole thing where they both know love after loss. They're neighbors. It's brilliant. There's so many twists and turns. It's kept me on the edge of my seat. The found family in this series is unmatched. It's a group of 6 people who live in Beaufort. It's an incredibly small town. They all know each other. They have these poker nights where they play a few rounds, but really it's just an excuse for them to hang out. They're one of the close-knit friend groups I've ever read. Just perfection. So I want to try and finish that this afternoon. I didn't bring any physical books with me, but the next book I will be picking up is Fireline physically, so I have that if I want to get that started. Check in with you a little bit later. I think we're going to film a video of us like reading for an hour, and I'll put it up over on Instagram just to see our different reading speeds, and then reading physically for an hour and seeing how we do. Could be a fun little experiment. Okay, we just finished our reading challenge, which was hilarious. I have like 5% left of Wildcard, so I'll finish that later. It's literally like 20 pages, if that. Finished my Lima Lani. We are packing up to head to Kiwi's house now, so that's gonna be really fun. Good morning, you guys. It is Monday morning. We are flying home today. It's like 8 a.m. Keely just left. We just said goodbye. We had a great night last night. I am feeling a little bit under the weather with a head cold. I've struggled with it all weekend. But like my Apple Watch last night was like, hey, you're sick, you have a fever, your heart rate's higher, your respiratory rate's higher. So plan is I'm gonna go treat myself to some crepes for lunch. There is a Simply Crepes in Raleigh, just scratched the heck out of my face, that's like 20 minutes from the airport. I'm thinking we hit that up, have a really nice brunch. It's gonna take me an hour and a half to get there probably, and then read for a little on my Kindle, head over to the airport early so I can charge everything up, and then my flight is at 4 o'clock this afternoon, but boarding's at like 3:25. We have to drop the rental car off. So that is the current plan of action. I'm probably gonna call my parents on the drive because I haven't spoken to them in a few days. Be nice to catch up with them, but other than that, that's it. So we'll go get brunch. Well, you guys, it's Friday night and I'm editing this vlog to head up for tomorrow. And I realised I never filmed an outro because, quite frankly, Monday's travel day was horrific. It's been a long week, but the whole got to Simply Crepes, had a delicious brunch, and then probably like 2 hours later I wasn't feeling the greatest, so I decided to head to the airport just as I pull up to return the rental car. And mind you, I was getting there right around when I thought I was because I hit really rough traffic. I got a text from my airline saying, hey, your flight's been delayed by like an hour and a half. Thought, not too bad, let's go in, let's go see it. Get through security. I'd already returned the car, so there was no turning back at this point. Sit down at the gate, and no joke, it just was a disaster. So if you ever are thinking about flying Breeze Airways, I highly recommend not. From like the reasons that the plane was delayed, which was completely the airline's fault, to then having the most rude and disrespectful staff in the gates. And I'm telling you, like, we changed our gate 4 times, and there were a lot of seniors on my flight. It was not announced one single time in the airport what the gate changes were. We only had 10 minutes to board, and there was like 50 people getting on this flight. Not only that, it was shown as like a straight shot flight. It was not. It was a flight from Orlando coming up to Raleigh, pausing, letting people off and getting new people on, like on the same flight. So some people booked it as like Orlando to Rochester, and some people booked it as Raleigh to Rochester, and some people booked it MCO to RDU. So you had to like do that switch around, which was really awkward. And then yeah, they messed up bags, so then we got delayed again. I was supposed to leave Raleigh around 3 o'clock. I did not leave Raleigh until 7 o'clock at night. I got home around 8:39, even though I felt even worse by the time I landed, which is why I didn't film anything the next day, because I ended up having a head cold for most of this week and then had a procedure done as well. So like it was just a lot going on. Anyways, the gate staff were really rude. It was just a horrible experience, and I 10 out of 10 would not recommend. If you're looking for a budget airline, I recommend Avelo over doing Breeze. Avelo was great. The exact same premise of being budget-friendly flights. They, you know, charge if you have a carry-on, like a true carry-on. If it's a personal item, it's free. I packed a personal item for the weekend, barely, but we made it fit. And that was that. So yeah, as for the event, everything I already told you was perfect. I absolutely loved it. Book-wise, I also picked up Through the Dust by Amber Palmer. That was a fiery enemies to lovers cowboy romance where I was having to like hide my Kindle screen. I need one of those privacy things ASAP, but I was hiding my screen because wow, the spice of Lennox and Bishop was off the charts. Amber Palmer is a cowboy romance author that I need so many more people to pick up and read. This was basically following Lennox and Bishop, who have known each other for ages. They both work on her family's ranch, and you know, Bishop's kind of like the foreman. He's the go-to guy, pretty much runs everything, and he is a little bit older than Lennox. Lennox is this fiery personality that has always butt heads with him, but has always kind of had this secret crush. She's the loud girl. She is outgoing and sociable and like has her own bar chan and like has no fear whatsoever by reaching out to new people. And Bishop is the one that's getting her out of trouble. They have a couple of like almost one night stand things, and it's just this undeniable chemistry, and they're forced to work together. It was just so much fun. So if you need a really good cowboy romance series, go pick that one up. It starts with Between the Pines. And then Amber's next book comes out towards the end of the month. I have an arc of it right now on my Kindle, so I want to read After the Rain and then pick that up if possible. I am currently arc jam-packed. As for the event itself, it was phenomenal. There are so many fun little catch-up reels over on Instagram as well that show like just all of the little like meet and greet moments. I did like a scrapbooking kind of wrap-up post that I really, really loved. I got to spend time with some of my amazing friends. Keely, thank you so much for hosting me. If you see this, I absolutely loved spending the weekend with you. But as for that is all we have time for this week. Thank you for tagging along for a very chaotic week in my life and for a very fun event. And I will see you next Saturday with another brand new adventure.